wanted to say about the FFA thing over there. I was president of the FFA here back in 1976. And I learned more in Agri about life and everything from electric, learning how to wire up a house to roofing to plumbing, all that kind of stuff that we did here back then. And I've got I bought out a cabinet shop in Arkadelphia. It was Percy Malone's, and I bought it for the air system, to get the air system. I got 4-head planers, everything you could use in a wood shop. So I donate that to y'all if you want, if you need it. It's really top of the line stuff too. It's 4-head planers, and it's got a big old saw thing that cuts out. I don't even know what their name of them are. But anyway, if you want to come out and see them, they're out at the pallet mill. You can get whatever, any or all of it that you want to get. But man, it teaches these kids carpenter work and anything like that. So I'd be glad to help you with any of that you want to do. Back to the what we've done out here. We finished the playground, the cafeteria, the walkway canopies, the Agri parking. We expanded that parking lot. I don't know if y'all have seen that yet, but it'll park a lot of cars now for the winter. Primary school parking lot is finished. I mean, the middle school primary, the football field is finished. The crossway, we still have to finish that. We're going to dig that out, move it over so that it goes down the center instead of taking out 2 parking lots over there. So, and we did y'all's school dog out there bit into our blue paint out there that we did, and you can see dog prints. She walked all over the parking lot with blue paint on her feet when we did. We had it sitting out there that night for the guys the next day. Auditorium parking lot, we finished all the dirt work on the main area out there. We covered it all with SB2. We extended the parking lot down toward the street, if y'all notice that. So there's a lot more parking down on that end of the auditorium parking lot. What we're planning on doing, and the only reason we hadn't been back out there is because we had to go to Arkadelphia to, the state has been pushing us to get the right of way cleaned out. We've got like 8 buildings to tear down in Arkadelphia. So that's the only reason that we hadn't been out here on the only part that we're focused on right now is the bus lane that comes around that's left. And we want to change the water from, where the turnaround is, the area, the elbow where the pavilion is over there. So all that water stands in that one area, and then it's only got one place to go through, the sidewalk. So what we want to do is we want to change that trajectory where the water all goes out to that culvert in the middle of the road down there. So we'll make similar to the little V that's in front of the middle school. We're going to make that go all the way out. So all the water will run away from the area down there where it turns. Everything will go out that end down there. I think we got about another 10 days of demo for the highway department. They're pushing us right now because the right of way is already there. So we've got to get those knocked out. But as soon as we finish those, we want to get back down there. We did an addition to the cafeteria parking over there that you've seen. All that's completed. The only part that we really lack right now is the bus concrete area, and then that area right there on the side. But we can do that while school's going on and not interfere with any traffic or anything. We can put our plastic fence around it and keep people off of it so the buses can actually drive across the main parking lot if they need to.
What about the auditorium drains that y'all were gonna work on?
Which one?
The back auditorium where water tries to run under the door, that was in it too.
Okay. We will do that. You'll have to show me where you're talking about. I'm sure Terry's seen that, but
Terry talked about it the other day
okay.
when I was meeting with him in the back parking lot.
All right. I'm not, that one wasn't, I wasn't on that one.
Well, making sure that it carried all the way out, so they're coming down by the building, carried all the way out to the culvert by the road.
Right,
So part of his shooting grade, and we was talking about that, that's
okay.
part of that V that you're talking about putting in, that would have to carry it both
Right.
directions.
And if you'll notice, the sidewalk's not level. We wanted to go to the edge of the sidewalk, but the sidewalks it does this all the way down through there, so going up against it's not gonna look, it's not gonna look straight. But also that, at Flume over here, where the water goes in front of the middle school, comes through underneath where it used to puddle up all the time. We've got to dig that out and finish that too. That's one more thing that's got to be done. Other than that, we're pretty well completed on all the other projects.
The drainage during the heavy rain is so much better in that area since we already dug out a big portion of that.
And once we get that other out, I don't think there'll ever be a water standing there.
Is access to concrete getting better or about the same?
It's a little better. The Veola's still pouring, like they're pouring like 1.5 feet of concrete on, all those trucks are just there every day. Arlen Seals, that does most of our stuff, he called us the other day, said he's ready to get back to work. We're not gonna take out as big a sections like we were doing over here because of the buses and the kids. So it'll be probably 20-25 foot wide sections and maybe 50 or 60 feet long. And then we'll just make our way around there. But everything, the main part as far as what we had to dig out and replace, gravel and all, it's done. The only part that hadn't been dug out is just the part that's got concrete on it right now. So that's gonna be our next phase. And that'll be the end of it. And one thing I want to say about the gym. When we had first started getting prices for the gym, we didn't know that the state was gonna pay for 60% of it. So we ended up paying about what we thought what the school was gonna have to pay anyway, when it comes down to the end of it. Since they're paying 500,000 of it. And now I guess a fence down here. Was that?
There is no state or federal grant money yet. But because the law has changed, I think, and that there will be grant money that will be coming about a fence.
Okay. Any questions on what we've got left? It's not much left now, just concrete and dirt, but we did cover everything that we were approached with in the very beginning, plus a lot of extra stuff that we ended up getting to finish. And then she asked me about bollards for the front of the middle school. I've got some of
Oh,
those.
thank you. Okay, yes.
She's just got to tell me what color.
What is it you're talking about?
We have the capability right now in a driving rain for someone to drive up and use our awning over there as a carport rather than a walkway. We want them to not have access to those doors, so we're going to have to put bollards in, like what you would see in front of Walmart or whatever, to have stops where you cannot drive up there. We don't want anybody to have that kind of an access to those doors, so that's gonna have to come up, so we know we're gonna have to put those up.
We've got some stop.
Yeah.
You were
Grant-
talking about putting something that's a little bit more attractive there, and did you not come up with anything?
Well, that's what we're gonna work on. If we take that pipe and we put that down inside and we cement it inside and then we brick around it, then it'll give you some aesthetics that look a whole lot better than just a piece of pipe that's stuck there. It's what Target did with their buildings. They got the same thing there, but now they've got these great big red balls in front of it. Try to make it look a little more attractive than just a yellow pylon that's right in front of it, but we want to look at how can we brick around that so that it looks more with a cap on top. That would make it look more pleasing to the eye than just but the main thing is to stop anybody from having access to create their own drive-through.
And we can brick them if you want them bricked, or we can cap them if you want them capped, however you want them to look.
How many do you propose that opening?
4 or 6, depending on how close you want to put them together.
We took the narrowest vehicle that I could think of, a Honda CRV, and I think it was, I wanna say. We took that measurement, so he's got that number, Terry has that number, and said, okay, look, this would stop it or deter it. It's gotta be close enough where they can't do it. Motorcycle's not an issue, but you can't put them that close. But a small vehicle, so they can't get across there.
We've got plenty of them, so it wouldn't take long to put them in either.
So that's the next piece that we'll be looking at to get those installed.
Do you have a ballpark of where we are on money, on everything we paid?
We're gonna finish with what we've got left. We'll finish under the budget that we started with. Way under what they started out telling us in the beginning.
Or-
We can afford a pretty fence.
And I know that Kendall and his group will be going out tomorrow. They have cut stakes, and so they're going to stake those along where the fence would go. And so if that works for the next football game, we may hold off on putting the pipe fence down and then see what else we might want to do, because football season is the biggest reason that people are there. So if we can come back with something better, give us a little bit more time to investigate if there's more grants coming too. So if it comes through and gets all torn up again at Prescott game, then we'll know that we got to get something.
Well,
JV's here.
Yeah,
Somebody better put on Facebook, we can't park there no more. Just let people know before they come.
Well,
Do we have any of that in
yeah, we do have some netting that we could put there. I think what Kendall has, that he's gonna actually string it off and then, and put it, and I'd like to have maybe some, A-frame rows with someone standing and say, parking's back over this way, but we may have to just direct someone, say, it's back over there, because we can't go there anymore.
At the last meeting, you'd also mentioned about looking at dugouts with softball team.
We're currently looking at that. When we looked at what I wanted to propose, it was gonna be about $25,000 a dugout, so we've gone back to the drawing board, looking at how can we do that more economically. So we're still working on those pieces.
Yeah, the one that we copied the ones that Centerpoint did. And then we ran numbers on it, and then I had Paul White come in and run numbers. Our numbers came out almost with no profit involved in it. We came up with almost the same numbers per piece, but those have a lot of cinder block. They're like 8 foot tall cinder block all the way around. And then they got metal and wood on top of them. And I contacted, Aaron Hartley, I don't know if y'all know him, to see about coming over. He did the pavilion out here for, Paul Williams, where they've got their, food truck underneath it. He does really good work. He's done a lot of work for us. But I wanted to get him to come up to go and look at those and then see how close he could copy those in metal and see what kind of price we get on it. He charged $14,000. If you drive by the pavilion out there, look at that pavilion he built. A really good, he built all the trusses, everything from scratch. And I think he charged $14,000 to build that place over there. It's pretty good size shed, and it's really nice work that he did on it. So I'm thinking he's supposed to come down. I talked to him today. He's supposed to come down, look at the measurements from the Centerpoint thing, actually go over there and see how close we can duplicate it.
We're trying to put dugouts that would be 10 foot deep and 30 feet long. And then change some of the existing water valves there, that we actually have a valve that's on the plane, not in the plane service, but in the valve grounds. We need to move it out of the way so someone doesn't fall in it or get hurt on it. So a few things that we have to do to it.
I'm also gonna have him look at raising the backstop.
Okay.
And I think he'll be cheaper than that fence company quote that we got.
Aaron works way too cheap. Well, much work as he does, I promise.
He does.
Way cheap.
So we're still working on that part, trying to come back with something I think it would be feasible and doable, that would look good. Any other questions for Mr. McKenzie? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
The last thing is you have a copy of what is called the district support plan. This is all materials that you've already seen, already approved. has to be put in one report that goes to the state. And what this is the campus and the literacy plans. They're supplied, they're there for you to review. This is always ongoing. So as we still don't have our state data. We hope it's coming out next week. And then there's a plan that they're going to be presenting also as a changing from testing. Different, how that's gonna relate. So a lot of information that we're looking at doing it. So we're still waiting on some of that there. We have to have this so that we can, we have to present it to the board so that you guys know that we're giving this to the state. If you have questions about it, you can certainly get back with me later. It's not an issue that is a concern, but we do want to set goals that are data driven, goals that we can obtain and things that are going to help our kids be more successful. Any questions about what you have with that, or feel free to call me if you have a question about what's there too. There's just that one last item down, the board meeting that would be next on October the 17th. And then last item on there about journey.
Make sure, did we have action on the Save the Children grant? Did we vote?
We're gonna
on
come
that?
back with a
You
proposed
wanna
budget is what we're gonna do, so we can
Okay.
present that, we'll bring that back in October.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
No.
All right,
Make a motion to adjourn.
got a motion?
Yeah.
Got a motion, second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. We are adjourned.